First off, rest in peace, neighborhood Nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics. Stick and move, Javante Davis.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, based over here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What up, world and good people? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite pod's favorite pod, 3-Man Weave podcast. And we are back with a brand new episode 208. And this is a special episode because my brother Hill had a birthday yesterday, y'all. So you know I was gonna say that, caught him off guard. Yeah. You already know it's your boy Buchanan, one of your hosts with the most. Who else I got with me?
Y'all already know who it is, your boy Hill. And Hill still go Hill regardless, baby. Let's get it.
And you already know what it is. It's your boy AJ. Shout out to Hill, the big 5'5", the double nickel out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know I mean?
That's how I feel. Right?
It's your Vontae's perfect year, boy.
Yeah. I'm knocking your heads off.
Yeah, the Kembe Mutombo year.
No. Oh man, appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate all the love that I did receive for my birthday. I am 36.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely, it feels different. But I'm like, yo, I'm 36, bro. Like, damn. Like,
yeah, man. Yeah.
You look good, man. So that's really all that matters. You know what I mean, how you feel?
I feel good, man. Like I said, it's a blessing, bro. Like I sit back and reflect, bro. I'm like, yo, 36, bro. You know what I'm saying? You think about that indictment that I faced, you know what I'm saying? Why you let me finish?
I'm sorry, bro.
I mean, we really could tell a story about how we made it out of Peter that traffic stop, bro.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Because,
we were going down.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you done a lot for real. So it's like, it
look,
should feel good. You feel me?
I'm going to take you.
Ain't it a blessing? Made it out of Lansing after all that happened?
Y'all was
Michigan State.
Y'all was going down, bro. Because I was snitching. I'm gonna just keep it up.
Cannon, tell him it's yours. It's yours. I mean, it ain't mine. So it's got to be somebody's.
I was gonna have a lawyer and everything, so it's like I was gonna be good.
I feel something.
You'd have walked in there, and Hill would have had a chicken bacon ranch and 10-piece from Ettrick Deli. with an Arnold Palmer.
Wouldn't take that long, bro.
Oh, hey man,
I don't know these.
I mean, we cool, but
he really didn't owe us no loyalty.
That's what I mean. That's what I just say. Oh man,
where can they find us, Hill?
Yeah, I know y'all can catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _ and Threads, TikTok, all that 3-Man Weave _ Or you can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. And it is go ahead.
And it's a reason why y'all really need to know about this email, man. So I'm gonna say it one more again for you. It's podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com, because we need y'all to utilize that sumbitch a whole lot now. Because guess what? Hey, stand up, Cannon. Let them see something real quick.
Let them see it, Cannon.
We got the official merch coming.
Yes,
the merch is here. Y'all been asking for it. We got some more designs on the way. We got a whole bunch of good stuff for us. And look, hit us up. Hill, you got the pricing for them?
Yeah, we starting up the shirts is $20. We got the shirt. Wait, hold on, let me get it. So I can be accurate with what I'm saying. Oh man, put me on the spot.
My fault.
Oh, we got the t-shirt. We got the t-shirts, $20. Dry fit, $25. Shorts, $25. Sweatshirts, $80. Puffer jacket, $75. Varsity jacket, $100. Starter jacket, $75. Jerseys is at $50. Jersey style hoodies at $40. So, like we said, the 3-Man Weave apparel. We are partnered up with McFly Designs. We are partnered up with McFly Design, the 3-Man Weave apparel. So any apparel that you would like to get with the 3-Man Weave logo, we have at your disposal. And after these sell out, we're gonna drop the full logo on them now.
Yeah. Hey,
full logo, man.
I'm telling you. So look, hey, Fours, we need y'all to hold us down, because what other podcasts giving they fans their own logo? No, I'm sorry, they supporters. Our supporters.
Yeah,
hey,
right.
Erase that. Let's start over. Are we giving our supporters their own logo? And guess what? You get that. Just think, when that 4 jersey drop and you get your name on the back, let them know I am a part of the 3-Man Weave family. This is a team. You know what I mean? Hey, you get minutes. You put up minutes. You know what I mean? We don't just have y'all. We just don't have y'all riding the bench. This ain't no bench mob. Nah. Hey, we everybody get some burn over here.
So once again, the email is podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. Please state in the email that you would like whatever shirt, jersey, hoodie, shorts. Please specify the size. Please specify.
And I will say
address and everything. And then, we got it. We hit y'all up with the pricing.
If you go and dry fit, go one size up than you normally go.
Absolutely. Say it again, Cannon.
If you go and dry fit, go one size up than you normally go. Everything else should be true to size. So keep that in mind.
And what we will do is we will put a price list and any criteria that's needed to place your order. We will put it in the Facebook group. We will pin that joint at the top so everybody can start getting these orders rolling in now. So we appreciate y'all.
Know it. Appreciate that, Chris, for the love. Appreciate that.
Shout out to my boy KD. What up, KD? That's my family right there. That's my dog. One of the hey,
that shot look good, man.
Yeah. Fresh from the buzzer.
Oh man.
Yeah, we drinking straight.
Y'all excited for the night though?
Yeah, football back, baby.
Hold on.
Yeah,
look.
I'm definitely excited. I honestly
look.
Yeah, that's how excited you.
I got it right here so I can watch.
I honestly wish that Karen was playing tonight. I feel like now I don't want to mix myself up because y'all know I'm not a proponent of veterans playing in the preseason, but I am a proponent of veterans playing early in the preseason when you went to a brand new team. You know what I'm saying? Like when Favre went to Minnesota, it's like I wanted to see him. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out there, get a feel for your team. I think that'll make the fan base feel good too. So it's like I don't know if they're gonna hide him the whole preseason, or if they're gonna wait till like that one game where most of the starters play the longest, or what. But I feel like with his track record, he should be out there tonight. You feel me?
I mean, but in their defense, they got the Hall of Fame game, so they do.
Which
got
is
an
extra. It's an extra game.
That's a good point here.
Yeah. So but he may not play. But in his defense, he's just so I can be objective.
But if he don't play, like I said, new quarterback in a new place, and you come out the first few weeks and y'all struggling, bro, that's on you, man.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and get this recap going on, man. We had a molly whopping, a massacre. You know what I'm saying? Man down. Somebody went fishing.
Somebody. So one of them don't even look like that no more.
Oh my God, man! I've never seen that. What you mean they?
I'm about to
say, Bud ain't look like no fight, bro.
Errol's probably back to normal by now.
Yeah, say that because Bud ain't look like he was in no fight, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. It's on. It ain't been a full weekend. I don't know that. Like he may still got. Like, he may not be as puffy, but that black that little purple is definitely some purple around here. Yeah, I'm saying.
I mean, what Mike Tyson said. It's a fight, bro. Like I was saying.
that was not a fight. That was an ass whooping. It was an ass whooping.
That was, bro. And unfortunately, that kind of disappointed me because y'all know my prediction. I didn't pick a winner. I wanted a split decision, which means I wanted a close, classic type fight. I wanted Hopkins, Trinidad. I wanted Castillo, Corrales. I wanted, even though De La Hoya lost, I wanted De La Hoya Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? That was a good fight.
And here's my thing. It wasn't like all we wanted was a good fight. And unfortunately, we didn't get the instant classic that we wanted. But what I will say is, amidst all of the jokes, one of the things that all three of us said, hey, for Spence to have made it that long with the punishment he took, I still give it up to him, because that's different. That's, say what you want about how he looked and stuff like that. And even from, the pre-fight interview, I told you, I was like, man, something look off with dude. But he still showed the heart of a champion, because one of the things that we said is we want to know how both of these fighters will respond if they were to get hurt. And Spence got hurt early, and I can't say that he responded, because it wasn't like, like you said, it wasn't Diego Corrales versus Jose Luis Castillo, but to still go up against someone who is, unfazed, pinpoint accurate, has everything going, and you still standing there in front of him, you still, in the pocket, taking this punishment and trying, and you made it that far. Like, hey, I was surprised, but that's something that you have to respect, in all things. And give it up for Bud, man. He showed up, showed out, and this was a perfect performance.
I mean, perfect. I mean, flawless. I mean, B-Mac, whatever B-Mac was saying, his trainer, whatever he said. I mean, I've never seen everything just go to perfection, bro. Like,
what did I tell you? What did I say during the fight?
It's like you can't do nothing wrong.
Early Hill, but I just want to ask y'all this: Is it what B-Mac saying, or is it just like he was just prepared, but it's what Crawford was just executing what he saw in there?
Bro, whatever they said, I'm gonna just say, yeah, bro. Like it was that flawless, bro. Like I've never seen a performance like that. Like against the caliber of fighter that he was going against. Like we've seen these type of performances against a lesser opponent. You're like, yeah, he just ain't had no business in the ring with them. But you win against another undisputed champion, bro, undefeated, that had the like can they always like they have similar resumes. Mm-hmm. Like y'all, even the common opponents that y'all fought, y'all didn't even look this different. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like this was just different, bro. Like all credit to Bud Crawford, bro. Like you said, yeah, yes, I was going for Spence, but like you said, early in the fight, I definitely just gave it up to Bud, because Bud is one of them ones. Like you said, wherever you rank him in there, he is that. And the execution that he did, like I said, I've never seen somebody go against a caliber opponent of this high go that with the perfection like that, bro.
We've never seen Bud look this good.
But you know how you want something so long, and it's like you can't, and people try to hold it. It was almost like, y'all know my college story. Like I got to college late, right? So it's like when I got to college, I wasn't doing this. I wasn't going to the parties and stuff all the time like Hill and them was, because I couldn't afford to. It's like I really had to knock this. I can't afford a bad semester or none of that, because I was already late in life. I'm not saying that Bud was late in life, but we know that he's been trying not just to make this Erroll Spence fight, but bigger fights on the PBC side. He's been trying to do that since he got to 147. And it's almost like those promoters didn't want to work together, and it left him being frozen out for whatever reason. And just imagine if you're a fighter and you feel like you could be a part of this competition, but you just ain't getting a chance because of political reasons or business aspects or whatever. It's like, and you just in the gym working and you beating up whack names that come across you, but you just like, dang, like I just want my shot. So I feel like that's what happened, bro. He ran across a guy that was just, they dangled a carrot in front of him for too long, and I don't feel like it wouldn't have mattered who was in there, bro. Like it's Spence, like you said, when I watch other fights, people normally don't get up after Bud knockouts. So it's like even the first one, Spence got up. Then he got up from two more later, and then he fought two more rounds. So it's like he definitely wanted to be there. I just think that sometimes in life it just happens like that, man. It happened to Ali, bro, when he ran into Joe Frazier, when everybody just like, it was like, boom, it was like, dang. Like, a lot of people don't know that Joe Frazier won the first Ali Frazier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They broke the man's jaw and everything. It was like, and the Ali people was like, doesn't mean that Spence is a write-off, bro. This is and that's what's really bothering me about a lot of boxing fans. One, because I said it prior. I'm a fan of both, which is why I didn't pick a winner for this fight. Also, I wanted to see, you know, a classic. But one thing you never heard me say is I've sent here a lot of, you know, stuff champion Bud, but I ain't never really knocking Spence. I'm gonna say the same thing that I said about Ryan Garcia when people was trying to play Ryan Garcia after his loss to Tank. I was like, yo, he did whatever it was necessary to make this fight. Spence did that. A lot of people don't know is that this fight wasn't going to be made. Al Heyman probably wasn't going to make this fight once again because Bud is not a PBC fighter. He's with Prime or whoever the hell. I don't know who the hell Bud is with. I'm gonna just be honest. But probably wasn't going to make this fight. It took for Spence to basically say, I'm not fighting nobody else until we make this fight. Hence why the 15-month layoff, because Spence technically was supposed to fight Keith Thurman. A lot of people don't know that. So it's like, there's a lot of things that he definitely should have. And that's why when people said, Bud, why you taking this Avnesian fight? And I hate that name because I can't really say it right. But it's like, I feel like he took that fight to stay sharp. People don't understand that. And like Bud said on $1 Million Worth of Game, people joke about Avnesian. He's the number 6 contender at welterweight. So it's like you could say whatever you want. You line up a whole bunch of names, he'll beat them, bro. He ain't gonna beat no Erroll Spence or no Bud Crawford or no Sean Porter, nobody like that. But bro, he's a viable opponent, especially if you just want to keep your ring rust off. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to take too many layoffs in this pro sport because, as you see, what can happen, man.
And one of the things that, like I've always said, Errol Spence looked terrible against Bud Crawford. Yes, he looked terrible, and he looked like he was overmatched and he shouldn't have been there. But don't let this fight let you forget who he is and the journey that he took. Man. The same thing we said about Ryan Garcia. It wasn't that he just got beat by some nobody. No, he got beat by Ryan Garcia got beat by the top dog.
Come on now.
Errol Spence got beat by who y'all have as the pound for pound number 1 now.
Fact.
So basically, Errol Spence got beat by who we feel like almost unanimously now by the greatest fighter in the world right now. And I'm just saying when you go by pound for pound rankings, I'm not saying he could go up against Dimitri Bivol and win, but when it comes to the pound for pound ranking,
the fact that I'm gonna say this real quick, I don't like the fact that Fury is being disrespected on the pound for pound. He gotta be top 3, bro,
because inactivity. And that takes me back to one of the things that we said last podcast.
He just gave us a trilogy, man. Like
that's what we said about last podcast. Do we need to retrain boxing fans? Boxing fans have gotten into this, TBE, protecting your old mindset. And if you take an L, you automatically just get cast aside. When in all actuality is, hey, I may have taken an O, but look who I've taken an O to. Because if we want to be for real, Spence and Bud might have been in people's top 5, top 6, top 7 of the pound for pound rankings before this fight. So Bud,
who's the greatest all time to y'all? Who you consider the greatest all time?
So to me, I know what you about. Hill, I want you to go first because I think I know where you're going.
I'm going with Ali because it's different when it comes to greatest and then my favorite.
I'm gonna pull up his boxing record.
Okay, and that's exactly where I knew you were gonna go. You have to look. You have to look like before you go to it. You look at Ali's resume. You look at Sugar Ray Leonard's resume. You look at I know you're about to say something, Hill, but you look at Manny Pacquiao resume.
Bro, I don't hate.
So you look at those guys' resumes, and they are some of the greatest of all times. And if you actually even dig a little bit deeper, they fought the best during the best of the time, and they never ran from it. And they gave you the fights that you wanted to see in that moment.
5 losses, bro.
And
he's the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And Erroll Spence is 28-1. That's a hell of a ratio. That means that if Spence was to duplicate that, he can possibly go 56-2. You see what I'm saying?
And that's
like, what are we doing here? Like, bro, like, let's be real. And for me, I never thought that anyone, if you go against somebody who's supposedly be the top, like when Ali, I brought up Ali and Frazier earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like Ali, immediately people's like, let's do the rematch. It's like, we know that Frazier's a top guy. So it's like, you shouldn't be. I saw one of the lists, Erroll Spence was removed. I think it was ESPN list, which is an awful pound for pound list.
Yeah,
I might say. They removed Spence, who was number 4 on that list prior, and they took him completely off. And they pushed Corey Stevenson on that list. I don't know how the hell he even cracks the pound for pound list, but they put him on the list. And they're penalizing. I'm trying to figure out. They're penalizing Spence for fighting the pound for pound best because Bud was number 1 on ESPN's list prior to this fight. So how can you go down? I could see moving back maybe 2 spots because you lost. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna fall back 7 spots out of the top 10. To me, to put someone who biased, right? To Hill's point.
To me, you take, and that's what I said, is like, to me, that's like taking someone off for losing to Alabama, like in college. Like I'm no longer top 25 and I've been undefeated. It was an undefeated matchup.
Well, Alabama lose, nothing.
Right, like, or Alabama lose to Georgia, and we both undefeated in the SEC championship game, and then now I lose. And even if I lose by 35, I've beat everybody else by 20. But you chop me out of the top 25, and you saying like, okay, now everything else that has preceded this fight no longer matters. And to me, that's crazy because that's one of the reasons. Shakur saying anybody name with relevancy because everybody's looking at him like, hey, dog, you can't say my name. You cannot legitimately say my name. And to me, that's the thing that
You'll find out about him real soon. Because
we really are, because once again, I told Hill, I told you, Cannon, and I told my boy Hot, like, he calling out all these people's names, and he calling out Lomachenko. Hey, that Lomachenko that we saw against Devin Haney
was actually a good Lomachenko. People just don't understand. That's just 2 top dogs fighting, bro.
Exactly. And that's what I be saying. Like, just because someone has a loss, you have to take into account when they lost to them, like in each other's career, and who they have fought and how they have fought. When you fight actual champions in trilogies, it gets to a trilogy for a reason, because it's a close fight. And that's why I say people remember Juan Manuel Marquez knocking out Manny Pacquiao and putting him to a vicious, night. But that was his 4th time fighting him because he couldn't get that Floyd Mayweather fight. How many times have you heard a champion, an all-time great, fight someone for the 4th time?
Yeah.
And that's my thing. Like, so, people always talk about, this person, they're undefeated. It don't really matter. Like, yes, you may be undefeated, but when did you fight your champions? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, that's nuance that a lot of people don't understand. And
I don't like the fact that the WBC is gonna award Charlo's belt
to Tim Tszyu.
Yeah, bro. Like, why not vacant the belt so that he can be the man for the belts? So and this is another thing. If Charlo just recently became the undisputed champion, which means he just fought for these belts, right? And you're not even gonna give me 12 months, like, just because I take one fight, and this is soon after I became, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking the Canelo, which means I could still come back down and defend my titles this year. You're gonna strip me almost immediately. That seems crazy to me. Like, I ain't never seen that.
Before we move on, go ahead.
So the reason why I believe that that's happening is the thing that we all hate: boxing business.
It's getting out of hand,
because I believe they're doing that and automatically awarding it to Tim Tszyu so that the WBC can feel like they have a hand in getting the next fight and getting that next big fight.
That's really what it is, bro.
Instead of having somebody, go out and fight for it.
Charlo, you still get it. He's coming back.
Right, but
he's coming back to defeat it. He just want to get a payday.
But the thing about it is, if they don't want to wait.
But as an undisputed champion, he deserves to pick this next fight, bro. He's earned that right, and that's what I don't.
That's the boxing business that we all.
But bro, that's disrespectful, bro.
At that point, I don't even.
That's disrespectful. Yeah. You collect all the belts, and you just say, "Look, I'm gonna go up. I'm not vacating down here. I'm gonna just go up for this one fight." He never said I'm staying up there. I just want to fight Canelo, bro. And see, try my hand at history. You're not even gonna wait to see what happens. That's crazy.
Because at the same time, they didn't make Haney vacate.
Exactly.
Because Haney belts are gonna because
he said he may come back.
Exactly. And
so it's the same thing you saying for Charlo. It's like, okay, like, bro, he may come back. You just said he coming back after Canelo.
They could have done the same thing because Haney belts they're like in limbo. You feel what I'm saying? Depending on what he does after the pro grade joint. But they literally said, we're gonna give your WBC belt to Tim Gray.
Before we move on, I think about back to the Spence and Bud joint. Like, I think about whatever narrative, whatever you believe, just came to fruition. Like, if you believe that, you know, Bud was being overlooked and he was being slept on, I mean, he showed you otherwise. You know what I'm saying? You believe that, you know, he was the better fighter. Like, he just showed you. He just showed everything. He showed excellence, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it was just a masterclass, you know. I'm going to tell you before we move on to see who his next opponent is. I'm going to tell you what pissed me off the most about this fight, though, bro. Like, that really just irked my soul.
I know it was because you asked a million times.
No. This is not even. I'm not even going to ask that. I'm not even going to ask that. I'm going to tell you.
That night, AJ.
What is his plan?
I couldn't figure that shit out, bro. But I'm telling y'all right now what pissed me off the most about the fight and the recap about how everybody reacted to the fight. When the hell did everybody become Eminem fans?
Bro, if I knew that I was gonna piss you off the moment
when he said it. But if I see one more time, when the moment he walked out with Eminem, I knew he was gonna win.
Bro, the saddest part about that whole thing is we are elite because we sat up there and said Eminem only have one song that's even capable of walking somebody out to, bro. And he came out to that one song, right? So everybody like the Eminem fan. Even when Shakur did. Remember, Shakur was the first one, even before the fight. Like, remember when I said last week, bro,
that shit was so planned.
You know damn well that wouldn't have been hard. Like, Shakur looked like he like a Pooh Shiesty or something. Like bro, get out of here with that.
He can't name 5 Eminem songs right now.
Can't name them, bro.
Shakur like that Batman drill music.
But look, this is my final thoughts about the fight, man. And so I will say, like, yes, Earl ran into Bud on the night that he just happened to be. It was a masterclass, like you said, bro. But y'all know how I put that pass from Eli Manning to Mario Manahan, and y'all hate when I bring that up. I said that's one of the best passes that I've ever seen.
No, that pass that you're talking about is actually a great pass.
So that pass, so it's like Bud gave us something like that on last Saturday, bro. That second knockdown that we thought live was a ghost knockdown. It was not, bro. It was that counter uppercut, bro, that was so lightning fast, bro. And there's only one real good clip of it, and I sent it to AJ because Hill was sick of me at that point. I just sent it directly to AJ. But all the other clips I've seen of it is like you really can't even see that punch, bro. You really only see Spence's punch, but it's at the same time. And it's like, if y'all get a chance, that fight is going to re-air Saturday on Showtime. Look at that second knockdown, and that's one of the best punches we've seen in the last 10, 15 years, bro.
If Spence would have walked out with Paul Wall, he'd have won.
I said he should have came out with Trap Boy more. We didn't know Jeremy Pruitt, bro. Like, we know Jeremy Pruitt, but not that one. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
I think the beauty
trench coat.
Beauty of who should he fight next, like I've been telling you since I've been telling y'all since they announced the fight that they have a rematch clause. We're going to see another one. I think the beauty of it was the fact that, okay, they tried to laugh at Erroll when he said, I wanted it at 154. You know, they tried to make that a thing. And when Bud immediately said, hey, listen, I ain't got no issue going to 154, I said, oh, he the illest. He really the illest in Nebraska. That's what I said. Because I understand. He was yelling at Charlo in the middle of the molly whopping, right? And I'm like, damn, yo, I thought all I was seeing was I'm like, he really want to fight a Charlo. So I'm thinking like, oh, he really wants to move up. What better way than a tune-up fight? And I'm only reason I'm calling it a tune-up fight because I'm calling it a tune-up fight because it's a similar opponent at a higher weight.
Yeah, and they both will never have fought at that weight, so it's exactly. So I get what you're saying.
That's the only reason I said. So you can get that, and then you fight a Charlo, or it makes all the sense in the world now. It makes.
But you know what makes me sad about that?
What?
You know what makes me sad is that the belts can't be up for grab because those are welterweight belts. And I just feel like the rematch should just be for the belts. But here's what a lot of people don't know. I say this to all y'all all the time. I'm like, yo, bro, this guy weighs 147 pounds. I find I'm like, they look bigger than us.
Yes.
But they're lighter than us. So I'm always trying to figure it out. So it's like, bro, and I said, like, even for Devin Haney, it was a struggle for him to make 135. These guys are actually big. Like, they walk around 170. Crawford is like, bro, it's tough to make. People didn't know that.
I definitely didn't know that at all.
147. Really, the only reason with it is Crawford said I had a pre-camp, which is probably why it was easier for him to make it. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, he's really been waiting for the shot. So when he knew that he was gonna get it, he was like, bro, I ain't getting. As soon as I'm done with Avnesian or whatever his name is, I'm in camp, bro. Like,
and that's one of my reasons why I said Spence should have taken a tune-up, because
he would have
when you've been walking around at 175 pounds for a year and a half, and then you got to get down to 147 and then fight somebody at that, it's a little bit different than you get down there and then you be like, okay, I know what's coming next, so let me maintain 155, 160, and then cut down to 147 for the fight, and then rehydrate back up to 155.
147 is ridiculous, bro. I'm a little guy, and if I get to 147, that's gonna be tough, bro.
So 2011, I got down to 132.
How? Oh yeah, never mind. I was gonna say he was capping at first, but
yeah.
Oh man. This is the thing. Back with Erroll, before we definitely moving on. Erroll did everything wrong, and this is the hindsight of it. And I'm not saying it is. This is when you can use the result. This is when the result can actually give you the final picture. You know what I'm saying? Like we said Bud did everything perfect. Well, we come back to Erroll did everything wrong. He didn't take a tune-up fight. Ryan Garcia didn't take a tune-up fight. He said, I'm going to wait straight for Tank. What happened? Y'all both got your ass whooped. Like, look,
do not let pride get your ass whooped.
They changed the culture about not being afraid to risk the O, bro. And so it's like,
it gets you, bro. Because think about it, if he'd have took a tune-up fight, and his tune-up fight would have been Keith Thurman, bro. Cannon might would have went and fought himself during the fight, bro. He might have had 2 fights that night, bro. That's some type of pressure that sometimes you just fold, bro. You're like,
and then if you take a tune-up, but see, to Keith Thurman, as much as we joke about Keith Thurman,
he ain't no tune-up.
Because you mess around and take that fight and mess around and don't get your big shot.
That's around one time.
Is a tune-up. I think a tune-up is somebody outside the top 5 that the belts have contenders for. You know that the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are people that's the real deal. The rest of them you probably can beat for real. But even you can lose to anybody. So it's like, it is what it is. But yeah, man, that 130 is funny, man. I could
they fighting at 154. Then we're gonna get it at 154. That's it. Yeah. We was getting like I said, we was getting a rematch. Whoever lost, like you said, like you said, he was having symptoms of CTE and still said I want the rematch. You know what I'm saying? So we getting a rematch, bro. We knew we was gonna get 2.
So let me ask y'all this. Y'all saw the Roy Jones comments, right?
Yeah.
What if it's like Roy said? What if if Spence did have plastic surgery on his face? What if his face wasn't that beat up like we think, but that's a surgically repaired face, so it just opened up a lot easier than the average person's face?
Mm-hmm. Bro,
so I'm saying, like, yes, it looked bad, but what if it wasn't? I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna show.
So-
Now
so-
I'm gonna send you Sean Porter joint because Sean
Okay.
Porter said he can win a rematch.
And here's my thing. I believe he can win a rematch too at 154.
I think so too.
And so one of the things, like we said, hey, he looked like, I said, bro looked high when they went to the locker room and start talking to him. And as we start hearing about him trying to get down to 147, it kind of makes sense.
He probably wasn't eating, bro.
And he wasn't. He couldn't eat. He couldn't drink. He couldn't do none of that.
It was thirsty as hell.
Exactly. And then
That's what it was.
And then and when I was talking to Deuce about the fight, also he was saying, like, he was actually listening to an MMA pod where he was saying, you know, one of the biggest things that people don't realize about cutting weight is when you cut weight, the first place you start to lose fluid is around your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's facts.
And that's another reason why, like, at these lower weights, when they cut, like, you can get knocked, like those knockouts, those flash knockouts come a lot easier as well, because when you're cutting so much weight, especially coming down from where Spence was at to get down to 147,
that's almost 40 pounds, bro.
That's where you lose a lot of it. And
dangerous.
Bro, and you gotta think about everything that your body has to go through to lose 40 pounds in that time frame. And so I believe Spence can win it. And then also it's kind of like in any it's also like in any other sport. When you get beat,
think he was zooted, bro.
When you get beat in a blowout, it's a lot easier for the loser to make an adjustment and come back and win, because the winner think like, hey, I did everything right. Yeah, I don't gotta change. And so going up, being at a more comfortable weight for Spence, and Spence making adjustments, it is very possible that he could come up and win.
That's what I was going to ask y'all.
Not saying
it's 54 even enough, because bro, we talking about these dudes.
That's what he been trying. That's what he been trying to get to for years, though.
So here's my thing.
I know he's been trying to get there, but it's like
it got to be enough. If that's
been staying where the money's at. But let's be real.
Let me make
dudes walk around. We got is walking around at 175.
Just one more statement. One more statement.
At 180, and I'm like, bro, to get to 147, that's 35, 40 pounds, bro. Like that,
right?
And 154 is only 6 more pounds. Like,
but it's only 6 more pounds. But when you
still going mad far is what I'm saying.
But that 6 pounds plus what you normally would rehydrate to isn't that far, so you don't have to necessarily put as much exertion on your body. So it may seem like, oh, you're only trying to, make 6 more pounds, but also try losing 6 pounds real quick. See how, and you know what I'm saying? So and see what you got to do. So you lose that 6 pounds can do a whole lot. So that's all I want to say. That's all I wanted to say. 6 pounds actually can do a lot when you consider rehydration.
I just feel like 180. That's a big dude, bro. Like if it at your right, like bro, you should be boxing at 160, 168. Like you can, you know what I'm saying? You really can. But it's like, I feel like for boxing so long has been a thing of getting people down so low to maximize their power. So it's like the lower you can get, the stronger you can be.
Hurry up, Josh. Hurry up and type. Cause we moving on to our division series. Yeah, and we gotta get to that.
And hopefully the next fight is a good fight. But Crawford did say like he want Spence rematch at 154, and then he definitely want Charlo. But Charlo's fighting Canelo. So if Charlo lose to Canelo, I don't know if he's gonna want to come down and fight Crawford.
I think he just want to beat somebody, anybody that named Char. He might fight Charcoal. Anything that got Char in it is getting that with it, dog. And it's the fact that he said it, bro. He's like, bro, I was ready to move 154 anyway. It was like he ain't trying to make no.
Because it's tough. Like
it's the fact that he said it during the fight. Hey, all right, I know you whipping my ass, but don't be talking to somebody else and telling them you about to whip their ass too. Like it's just that easy. Like come on now. Like I'm right here. I
don't have as far as they have to go, and I don't think that I can make 147, bro.
Listen. podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com to order your 3-man weave apparel. I don't know what Jarvis is typing right now, but he's taking forever.
Yeah, he's had 2 minutes. His fingers ain't working. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the toughest division in football.
I know. This is one of the toughest divisions in football. There's no need to sugarcoat it. And like I say, like I said, these teams, all 4 can actually make the playoff if everything's clicking. But we're going to get to it. We're going to start off. This is how we're going to do the divisional series, y'all, from going forward. Starting off from worst to first. And then we're going to break down each team. So who was last place in AFC North?
It was the Browns.
It was the Browns. So let's get to it.
Yeah, I got them being in the same spot.
It's the fact that on paper, the Browns have everything. Like they have it all on paper. But we've seen the Browns have everything on paper 4 years, and it just ain't click. What happened, Cannon, with their curls?
It just never connects.
It just don't curl all the way. And one thing about it when it comes to the Browns, like I've drinking the Kool-Aid before, drunk the Kool-Aid before. I ain't drinking this Kool-Aid, bro. It's like y'all gonna have to show me. This is one of those things that you can roll back the footage and let me know that I was wrong. I'm not making on because the fact that just when Deshaun Watson came back, like he wasn't coming back from an injury, bro. Like he just came back and he looked bad. Like he looked bad. Yes, they made some improvements. Like I said,
like a deviant, bro. He looked guilty.
Amari is still Amari. You know what I'm saying? They drafted Cedric Tillman. They Njoku. They got players. Nick Chubb still best running back in the league. Like they got it. Miles Garrett. Like they got everything. They got everything. It just don't come to fruition, bro. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So I'm not gonna believe in the Browns until the Browns show me. I like the coach.
I don't.
AJ, you waiting.
So I actually think the Browns are actually going to be really tough because to me, one of the biggest moves that they did was get someone who can really rush the passer opposite of Miles Garrett. And then when you talk about their run defense, they were one of the worst. And they shored that up too by going to get Dalvin Tomlinson. True. So to me, their biggest weakness they fixed. And even if Deshaun Watson is not the Deshaun Watson that we are used to, and I hate to say this because I don't want to give him any props, I don't foresee him to be as bad as he was last year. I think he's a year removed from all of the turmoil that he went to. That
he caused.
And I think that he will have, because he was suspended. So I think he gets a full regular offseason with the Browns now. And say what you like, to me, the Browns still have one of the best offensive lines in football. You know what I mean? And so I think this team, they got better defensively. And I think offensively, they're going to take a step forward, which is actually going to make them a lot scarier. And when I say that, I'm not saying that, I'm believing the hype that they will, win this division. But I think that this is a very big threat to the teams that I feel that are, the top two in this division. I think this team has the biggest upside to upset both of those teams.
I mean, because on paper, like you said, they have it all. Like I said, on paper, they have it all.
I ain't drinking that Kool-Aid. I'll do like hell and come back and say I was wrong.
And I ain't got no issue. We ain't got no issue saying, hey, look, we was wrong, brother. But right now.
But I ain't believing in them right now.
I'm not.
And side note, I really like this Elijah Moore move that they made. I think
I do like I like Elijah Moore.
I like Elijah Moore. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think bringing in Elijah Moore really puts everyone in an amazing spot in that receiver room. And that gives, Redacted a whole nother option that he has behind the offensive line that he can feel comfortable in. And he has a year, under his belt. And I think that defense is going to still be tough, especially with the pass rush that they'll be able to do now that they'll be that they could probably be a little bit better against the run too.
The receivers make sense. Like you said, you got Amari Cooper. You drafted Cedric Tillman. You traded for Elijah Moore. Like you said, you
still got Donovan Peoples-Jones.
You feel what I'm saying? Like you got Njoku in the middle at tight end. Like the weapons are here. Like you have
screen too. You got, you know what I'm saying?
You have everything, but at the end of the day,
you have Deshaun Watson, bro.
The Browns is the Browns.
Yeah, they definitely the Browns.
Who's in third place?
Steelers.
Yes.
All right. Who want to go first with the Steelers? I went first with the
Browns. I just have the Steelers. Like they just a young team. To me, they got decent D line. You know what I mean? We don't really know what's going on at quarterback. They got a decent receiving core, but it's like they got a good running back, maybe, if he, you know what I mean, can stop not being nicked up. So it's like, I just don't know. There's just a lot of question marks, and I'm only putting them in third because I don't believe in the Browns. But there's a lot of question marks on this team. You know what I mean? I think the number two, the top two teams, is a clear separation between the bottom two teams.
I'll go before you, AJ. I think everything that the Steelers did this offseason made sense. Like all the moves that they made, it made sense. So I get it if I'm a Steelers fan, how I feel like I'm excited or optimistic when it comes to their team. The latter half of the season, Kenny Pickett seemed like he was figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like Matt Canada was understanding how to utilize them, and everything was getting better. Like I said, they made improvements to the offensive line. So Najee should be better. Like you said, they added more offensive weapons. Like you said, George Pickens going to get his second year. He's going to understand what to do. They still got Deontay Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I understand they went got Allen Robinson. Who knows? Maybe they can resurrect him. But he don't even have to be, utilized to his, he's just there. The defense is the defense. They had a great, amazing draft when it comes to that. So it's like all the things that they've done makes them go on the trajectory of uptick. But the standard is the standard, right? That they always say in Pittsburgh. So of course that they say that they, of course they want to be held to a championship standard. This team is not ready to be in that championship contending category. Can they make some noise? Can they make the playoffs? It's a strong possibility. Or they can have the same duplicate season that they had last year based off it being in the AFC.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. This will be Mike Tomlin's first losing season of his career.
Since the pundits have them in last place.
And here's the rebuttal. I guess if you say it enough, AJ, it'll come true, huh? So expound on that, my brother.
Well, see, that's the funny thing about that. This is the first time I've ever said it. I didn't say it last year. So what are you talking about? So yeah, this is the first time I've ever said that this Mike Tomlin will have his first losing season. So I guess, hey, if it comes to fruition, I guess that just makes me Negro Damas. You know what I'm saying? Because
number so I can play this lotto, man.
I didn't pick y'all to finish last season, but after last season, yeah, you guys did make some additions, but I don't know if it made you that much better. And I think the way certain things broke for y'all, yes, hey, things happen, but it wasn't like, hey, y'all were just like cruising to some 11-12 win season. Y'all were fighting y'all ass off to allow Mike Tomlin to get that winning record. So yeah, that's cool. The record is the record. Fine. But I don't see the improvements that you made. Oh no, I don't see the improvements that were made in the offseason to actually take over for. Sorry, I gotta charge my laptop because the game about to come on. I don't see the improvements that were made to just take you, to be consistent on that level, because to me, there's still some questions. And if
we put the game on too.
Yeah. You said that last year. The pundits did. I'm not the pundits that you listen to. We here to change the narrative. We here to give you kick straight facts. So yeah, they may have picked y'all to finish last year, but hey, they also picked the Browns to be a Super Bowl contender for like the last 3 seasons. We never did that, and so we don't care about what the pundits say over here at the 3-Man Weave, because the pundits here at the 3-Man Weave, we gonna tell you how it is. And we try to take objectivity out of it. My fault. And so, yeah, I just think that, to me, when you actually look at it, yes, some things broke you guys' way, and you were able to have that winning record. But one thing that I do know about football is the football does bounce. And so some of those bounces you got the year before don't happen. And so I think that with the team that you guys are going to be running out, I think it's going to look a lot different. Hill mentioned Matt Canada. Y'all want Matt Canada gone. So why Matt Canada there again with Kenny Pickett? I'm just supposed to be like, oh yeah, this offense is gonna be straight.
Can I ask you a question though?
Oh, absolutely.
Starting off with an ascending Kenny Pickett this season, instead of Mitch Trubisky. Should that help with their opening record and keeping them afloat throughout the season?
Okay, so let me ask you this. How do we know Kenny Pickett is ascending?
I mean, based off the second half, the latter part of the season, he was definitely playing better. The offense looked better. He was, looking like a first round draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Now, who's to say that translates? True. Like I said, we don't know, but I'm going of the mindset that he has to get better because he was getting better the more and more he played. He didn't start off the beginning of the season. Mitch did. So as I'm saying, can he understand the offense better than what Mitch did, and can they maybe squeak out some more wins that they ended up losing because of they didn't have any offense?
Can I answer that?
Yeah,
it's possible. But what did AJ lead off this segment with? This is the what division?
AFC North, the toughest division.
Toughest division. So it's like the pundits they got the Ravens and the Bengals 11 wins. They got Cleveland with 10 wins, and they got the Steelers with 9 wins. So it's like, it's unfortunately y'all in a tough division. So it's like, y'all possibly can, but I don't know if it'll be enough still, because one game in that division is going to be a lot. You know what I'm saying? If it's the toughest division, then 2 game is a lot of separation. So it's like, I don't know if they can do enough. They could possibly win another game or 2, but I don't know, like I said, in that division, if it will be enough. But it possibly could because it's a close division. So it's like, and if Cleveland's like I think they will, then they should be. That's 2 wins right there for Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's move on to the anything less to say about Pittsburgh?
So
that's it for Pittsburgh.
With Pittsburgh, I think they have to get out to if they can stack some wins early, their schedule will be favorable for them because they have, a fairly easy schedule outside of the AFC North.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be close because they're going to end the season with the Ravens, Seahawks, and Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is going to be where they're like, I'm not predicting them to have, 3-4 wins. I'm just saying, hey, it ain't 8-8 no more.
Yeah.
And if you're an 8-win team, you have a losing record.
Yeah.
If you're a 7-win team, you have a losing record. So that's all I'm saying is like, it's going to be tough. Some of those, okay. Kenny Pickett went 7-2 in his last 2 games, right?
It got to be his last 9 games, right?
I mean, in his last 9 games. Yeah. But Kenny Pickett, yes, he gets credited with those wins. But what I'm saying is, how do we know he's an ascending quarterback? Because in those last 10, 9 games, like he ended the season with a 44% completion percentage against the Browns. Yes, they won that game 28-14, but Kenny Pickett wasn't good.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Kenny Pickett didn't have a single multi-touchdown game all year. So even though he came on late in the season,
I got question marks, and I like Kenny Pickett.
Like even though he came on late in the year, like let's not act like Kenny Pickett was like even remember Baker Mayfield came on late in the year and was like, oh, Baker Mayfield look good.
Who?
Kenny Pickett didn't look like that. Yes, they won, but they won how we thought the Steelers would win: defense and running the ball.
So like Cannon was, Jarvis Cannon was saying, like I said, they star players got to stay healthy. Let's move on to the Ravens. Ravens got a new offensive coordinator. They finally got Lamar some weapons. They finally paid Lamar. There's a lot of people are high on the Ravens again because once again, if Lamar's healthy, they make the playoffs. It's just that simple. Like I say, when Lamar's healthy, they've been in contention of winning those
number
divisions.
1 seed.
Yeah.
Not even the division, number 1 seed. Let's not forget that.
So I do understand everybody's optimism. Yeah, you ain't even smooth or nothing. You just
right. He ain't even, like at least I'm looking out the side of my eye. Cannon just
I'm multitasking, man.
No, you're not.
I ain't missed a beat.
I think before I get hyped about the Ravens, I do. Like, once again, I have them making the playoffs. It's like I said, Lamar Jackson's healthy, they make the playoffs. Like I said, death taxes and Lamar Jackson healthy make the playoffs. It's just that simple. I do need to see this offense. You know what I'm saying? I need to see how this offense performs.
And Darrell Reeves got a little fat.
He ain't playing no more. Because I don't think this defense is the same defense that we're accustomed to seeing the Ravens. Like, it got better towards the end of the season. Once they traded for Roquan and he got settled in, the defense started to look like the Ravens defense.
Why we couldn't trade for that? That just made me upset.
I know. But who's to say? Like I said, they had they've been having a lot of injuries when it comes to their team recently. Who's to say that this defense was going to continue? But like I said, once again, if Lamar's healthy, they make the playoff. It's just that simple. And I just need to see this offense. I want to see this offense. And if the offense is everything that they say it is, then look out.
Let's be real.
Look the fuck out.
So the saying is that if Lamar's healthy, they make the playoff. That's been with no weapons but Mark Andrews, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what do we say? Like running back should be healthy. They brought in OBJ for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you got a little bit of a squad now, probably the most that we've ever seen you with.
Mm-hmm.
If you are healthy, I got to put the Ravens at number 2 and definitely a playoff team. So I think you're 100% spot on. It's all going to come down to Lamar's health, which I hope he got a reason to take care of himself this year. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have to put it all out on the line when you got deep threats, intermediate threats now. Like, you should be able to get rid of the ball and let somebody else risk it. Hopefully, your other guys, like your running backs and your deep threats, can stay healthy, because that's what it's going to come down. And your tight end, because they've been leaving them. I mean, the health is on Lamar, but a lot of these other people on the Ravens been unhealthy, bro.
Like, this team been injured. Like, it's been injured.
Remember that report that came out where the Ravens got an F for their training staff?
Absolutely, and we see why.
And we definitely see why. And
right, at the same time, it's probably the same people that do Commanders.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
And so
just go up 95.
Hey, we need you real quick. They be calling to the urgent care, like, hey, y'all got somebody available real quick? But last year, I picked the Ravens to win the division because I just felt that the team that they had, even though Lamar didn't have the weapons and stuff like that, to me, Lamar Jackson was that much of a factor.
Mm-hmm.
He had that much gravity that offensively, if he's on the field, they gonna be all right.
We gonna be all right.
The defense was in the first year of a new defensive coordinator with Mike McDonald. It was some stuff that they were trying and getting better. This defense was one of the worst defenses in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Like, they were literally 32. They gave up like 27 points one time to lose a game. That all goes on to Lamar Jackson, but in all actuality, they gave up all of these leads. And to me, I'm not necessarily worried about the Todd Monken offense, because I saw Lamar Jackson in a Greg Roman offense with none of these weapons. And one thing that was actually pointed out to me, did you know that the Ravens throughout their history have never had a Pro Bowl receiver?
Damn. I'm not surprised though,
but so now Rashad Bateman, before he got hurt, was looking like, oh shit, he got the potential to be something.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big issue if he can stay healthy. But now Lamar also, like, we know Lamar loves to work the middle of the field with, Mark Andrews. But now you put Zay Flowers in the middle of the field, it's like, oh, okay. This adds a little bit more of a different element. He can stretch the field, and you still have Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. And with these running quarterbacks that are at the top tier, we know you're gonna get 5 yards a pop on the running game. So you got J.K. Dobbins a year removed from the ACL. Shit, Gus Edwards was getting 5 yards a pop even before then. So the running game is gonna be good. Ronnie Stanley back healthy. That offensive line is is going to be good. I'm not worried about the defense because to me, we saw the
Ravens kind of do.
We saw that defense. You talk about Kenny Pickett coming on late in the year. The Ravens defense got better late in the year, and that's with all the injuries that they suffered.
Yeah.
And to me, now you got Kyle Hamilton at safety with another year in this system. Now you got to think about, okay, Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen, they get a full year together. And then you got Odafe Owe coming back from – no, that's David Ojabo. You got Ojabo coming back a year removed from that Achilles injury and see if he can, add another spark with Matabike and Owe. And then let's not forget, you got Travis Jones, who I believe all three of us loved in the draft, who got another year under his belt. So to me, I think the defense is still going to be solid, but I think that the offense that we see is going to be taking a step further. And I think they in the same position that I picked them last year.
All right, well, let's get on to the Bengals. Who they?
Who they, baby? So, I'm gonna go first, I guess.
Yeah, this is your squad.
Yeah.
So I believe so. Last year, one of the things that a lot of people do not talk about is Joe Burrow's appendix injury. We're starting to hear it now a little bit more, but that was a big reason that the Bengals started off slow. And you look at the Steelers game to start off last year, you look at the Steelers game to start off last year, Joe Burrow looked like, oh, this ain't right. This ain't like bro threw 17 interceptions from the moment that he grabbed the ball, and we still lost that game 23-20 in OT because our long snapper tore his bicep and we just couldn't make a field goal to send Pittsburgh home. And then that following week, we lost to the Cowboys, and it was just like you started the season 0-2, everybody panicked. But it was like Joe Burrow looked like Erroll Spence. He lost like 20 pounds, didn't get to cut, like he didn't get to, have no preseason, no training camp, none of that. So I think, even with his calf injury, he's still been lifting weights. He's still been at practice. He's still been in meetings. The only thing that he isn't doing is practicing. He's throwing all of that. So I think this season, even though he's not getting that full, training camp experience, I think he's going to be able to start off looking a little bit sharper. And I think this season will look a little bit different. And I think we will be in contention with two other teams for that number one seed.
Okay.
It's just unfortunate one of them is in our division.
Okay.
Now, bro, only thing that matters to me is Burrow going to be on the field. Like if Burrow's going to be on the field, I'm going for y'all number one. Now, I do have a concern that y'all might start off slow. Like last year, because once again, he's injured. But y'all, this is different this year because I feel like he's a veteran on the team now. He knows pretty much what he needs to know. And y'all know how I feel about veterans on teams, especially quarterbacks. I don't even think he needs to participate in preseason. But I do think he does need to participate in practice. So hopefully the calf injury doesn't keep him sidelined long enough to where he can get his reps in practice, make sure that he's on the same page with the team, and then y'all can hit the season running. If y'all hit the season running, y'all, I think y'all secure first place easy and make me look like a genius because y'all bring back, a lot of people. Y'all were good anyway. Y'all only thing is going to be if the Ravens make that push that we just talked about. Like if the Ravens can make that push, then yes, they can challenge you for it. But if they don't make that push, because they got to be healthy. Let's be real. Like their big receiver that they brought in, injury problems, injury history. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's still a lot of question marks for them too. So it's like Bengals got T. They bringing back Mixon. They got Trey on defense. You know what I mean? They got They got Jamar Chase. Like, bro, they got Joe Burrow, who's like Captain Cool. So it's like, bro, as long as Joe Burrow suits up, I feel like my team could win if I'm a Bengals fan. So it's like, I'm really worried about what nobody else does. I think this is the clear favorite.
Oh, I'm not worried about what anybody else does. I'm gonna let you go, Hill. I just want to throw this in here. The one thing, the reason why I say it's going to be super, it's like when I say the Ravens are the same place that I picked them last year. I'm not saying it's going to be like by 2-3 games. I think it's going to be one of those margin things. It's going to come down to divisional records, head-to-head record type thing.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, we're also still playing that first place schedule. So we still have, in certain things, like we got, in back-to-back weeks, we do San Francisco to Buffalo. And then, to end the season, we got Pittsburgh, Kansas City to Cleveland. You know what I mean? So to me,
that's one easy win right there, baby.
We do have a gauntlet of a schedule. And so
that'd be nice because that's
right. And so that's the only thing that I'm saying truly is like it's going to be a little bit tougher for us because we have that that first place schedule. But just to cap it off, this also will be health allowing. This will be the best offensive line that Joe Burrow has played behind, because you have to look at that offensive line that was closing out the season when we went on that 8-game win streak to end the season. With hurt Lyle Collins, Alex Cappa, Ted Karras, Cordell Volson, and Jonah Williams. You throw in, Orlando Brown in there, and then move Jonah Williams to the right side. That is one of the most complete offensive lines. And then that allows Lyle Collins to go to the bench, who that also gives us depth. So if we do have one of those injuries that, we've come across, we've seen Lyle Collins play guard, and he played guard at a really high level. When he's healthy, he could play tackle at a really high level. So I think, to me, he's one of the best backups in the league if healthy. So that gives us a little bit of leeway. So I think that is something that, you will want to take into account. But once again, it's just how the ball bounces. And with that first place schedule, I just think, we're in contention for the number one seed.
I'm in agreement with everything that y'all said, but I'm just going to ask the questions and let the questions just be questions. I'm really not that sold on Jonah moving to the right side. That is a huge question mark, if he can get it together, because he could not get it together on the left side last year. So I'm not sure that moving him to the right side is just going to be this easy transition. If the offense, once again, we have a Joe Burrow coming back with another injury, he needs to be protected. You losing Samaje Perine. Like I said, I get it. There was Samaje Perine, but hey, he was protecting, your third down back.
That was a big one for me. So exactly. You heard that from me,
So if Jonah is suspect on that side, and Joe Mixon is the one that lacks pass protection, how y'all gonna protect Joe? I get it. Joe has been used to not being protected effectively his entire career. It's nothing. Joe, you know what Joe do, but it's still a question. And we can't just go up here and just have a whole love fest. We have to ask the question. Your cornerback decision. You can ask the question. You can answer.
So the thing that I will say is, okay, my fault. Go ahead.
The other question is your cornerbacks. Like I say, Cheeto's coming back from injury. You know what I'm saying? You got CCB. He coming back in his second year. Like I say, is he going to he's going to take that leap that you need immediately? DJ Turner is a rookie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Is he going to come in?
Injured too? It was like first injury of his career. Okay,
yeah,
but my fault.
It's a hip injury.
Okay, I know my fault. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
And to lose, and I'm talking about your cornerback room. So let's say y'all could be going to get some number one schedule. You're going to need these cornerbacks to be effective immediately. You're losing. Why is his name leaving me? Your safety, Jesse Bates. You lost Jesse Bates. Is one of the best safeties in the league. Replacing him with
Dax Hill and Nick Scott.
Yeah, Nick Scott. Who? You know what I'm saying? I'm not solo Nick Scott. I'm not gonna be solo Nick Scott until Nick Scott shows me. I am a fan. I was a fan of Dax Hill coming out of college. I do believe that
I like Dax Hill.
He's going to be utilized differently. With Lou, the way he utilizes his players. But those are questions. Those are key questions. With a number one schedule that y'all do have, with the Ravens being the Ravens, with the healthy Lamar, this number one seed that y'all going to be going for. Of course, y'all gonna make the playoffs. Don't let these questions that I'm asking.
No, I didn't.
But these are legitimate questions when it comes to seeding, and seeding does matter. Fact. I do understand that y'all went to Buffalo in the snow and y'all beat Buffalo, but hey, it's It may not go that way. It's a oblong ball.
We'll talk about Buffalo when we talk about the AFC East, but let's just say
It wasn't specifically Buffalo. What I mean, I'm just saying,
I get you.
Go on the road again.
Right,
going on the road
100%.
is definitely not easy. I don't give a damn where y'all go.
So before we move on, let me rebuttal these real quick. So you talked about our cornerback room, Cheeto coming off of his ACL injury. Everybody, for as long as I've heard, told me Eli Apple the worst corner in the league. So Cheeto coming off an ACL injury when he was looking like a top 15 corner prior to, or Eli Apple, and we still made it to the AFC Conference Championship and was maybe a player or two away from that. I'll take Cheeto. Cam Taylor-Britt, he filled in perfectly because let's not forget, it was Cheeto and Eli Apple starting. Eli Apple, that was a good rebuttal.
Yeah, that's what you see the face.
Eli Apple got benched for Cam Taylor-Britt, and then Cheeto came in. I mean, Cheeto got hurt. So Cam Taylor-Britt was about to be a player anyway. So yes, he's in his second year, and he's been, he's taking, we can see him taking that next step. But even if he plays at the level that he played last year, and you bring in Cheeto Awuzie to replace Eli Apple, to me, that's a step up, especially from how y'all talk about Eli Apple, right? Yeah. All right. And so Jarvis, he talks about Chase be injured too. We went undefeated we went 3-1 in the games that Chase. We went 3-1 in the games that Chase missed. Mm-hmm. And T looked like a number one receiver, and that's fine. And we bolstered the depth. Trenton Irwin came in, had 4 touchdowns in that time, So, T.I. So to me, this is like depth-wise, I think depth-wise, we are much better than any other team in our division. If we want to just talk about, everybody's top 22, then okay, we might be able to, you might be able to pick hairs with, the Ravens and stuff like that. But as far as depth, I think we're
question marks, which is
right. I think we're one of the deepest teams. And yes, Chase had the first injury of his life. Okay, cool. But he came back and, with it being a hip injury, he looked like Chase. You know what I mean?
He played one game with the hip injury.
He played one, it was the Falcons game. It was the Falcons game. He left that game again, but I think he had 2 touchdowns and was smoking, but then he had to leave. So hey, look, it's fine. That's fine.
Stop protecting themselves, man.
And
some of those bounces that y'all got last year might not get there. The only reason I'm posting that because the same thing, the same way you said,
ball.
You said it for the Steelers, so he can say it to the Bengals. It's like 100, that's the beauty of the division talk.
100%. But also some of those bounces that we didn't get, cool. But also we still did that with one less game than everybody else, and still finished first. So it wasn't like we just squeaked it by. We ended up getting close with the Ravens, and we ended up playing one less game. And let's not forget that Monday Night Football game with Buffalo. We was driving easy on them. So it might not even have come down to that. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, I understand what you're saying. Hey, the bounces don't go that way. But if you also look at it, I can say it the same, like I said before. In that very first game that we played Baltimore got some bounces. In that very first game against the Steelers, Joe was hurt, and we still we lost, we couldn't kick because we lost our long snapper. That wasn't we didn't even have a backup long snapper on the roster. So we win that game. Some of those bounces towards the end don't even matter because, like I said before, we went on a 8-game winning streak to end the season. So I get what you're saying, but I think some of that also is just it wasn't a fluke from the Super Bowl run, which we discussed coming into last season. We're going to be in it. So yes, some of those bounces may not go our way, but I think we have enough on our team and on our roster to handle the schedule. We beat the Chiefs, with a fluke Kelsey fumble and stuff like that in the regular season. But who's to say some of that stuff doesn't go the other way in earlier seasons? That's all, earlier games in the season. Go ahead, Hill.
I'm finished.
Okay, go ahead.
This, AFC North, like you said, they definitely represent in the group, so we definitely had to hold it down for the AFC North. It's gonna be plenty more talk once the AFC North recipients, whatever the word is, They catch it on the replay.
Okay. Like
You
y'all
know what
lose
I'm saying?
TJ Watt every game. Like, so
I catch it on the replay, and I'm pretty sure that y'all gonna disagree with some of the things that we said. But hey, that's the beauty of it. The games will be played.
didn't they have TJ Watt when we beat y'all with Ryan Finley? Like, come on now. Get out my face.
I love it. Hey, I love it, man. I love it. Let's get over to a real division, man. Take this bud.
Here come Jarvis.
Go ahead.
It's going on you. We going from worst to first.
Damn.
I don't go on hill. We going from worst to first. We not switching up nothing. So,
But it's still your goal, man. Go ahead.
This is your team. AJ went first on his team. This is your team, my brother. Commanders.
I don't think we'll be last place this year. We got a new owner. We optimistic. We brought back most of our team last year, and we even with our terrible owner, we were competitive last year still. So it's like I feel like if you sleep on us this year in this division, especially if you're, I don't want to say New York. I think New York will be the other bottom tier team just because of their quarterback, but I could be wrong because NFC East don't have a lot of back-to-back division winners in the history of the NFC East. But I feel like if the Giants are the other losing team, I feel like they'll be last place because I feel like we know what Daniel Jones' ceiling is. We don't know what Sam Howell's ceiling is yet. So it remains to be seen. And it's just optimism for real, because his ceiling could be lower than Daniel Jones. We just don't know. But we do know what Daniel Jones pretty much does. Like, so it is what it is. I think Washington will be number 3. I feel like New York will be number 4. I feel like that was my prediction last year. And AJ, he disappeared.
Yeah, he had to go. This is my thing, bro. You optimistic every beginning of the year, and I get it. Everybody's optimistic about their team every year, but we have the we talk about, everybody loves to talk about the Cowboy fans and this and that. Washington fans are some of the delusional fans in the world, bro. Like, let's just be honest, bro. Like, I don't
be hearing us talking about championships and stuff like that, though. We mostly say what I be saying.
And the same thing that you'll hear about a lot, like you say, y'all put that thing on the Cowboy fans, that they talk crazy and everything. But like you say, we know a lot of different fans of each team. Like you said, we're not gonna go on whose fan base is which. But this is a delusional ass fan base, bro. Let's be honest. I'm not talking to you.
But no, I want to.
I can't.
If a Washington fan talking about that we're gonna win the division, I want you to send that to me, bro.
Okay, I got
because I ain't seen it. I ain't seen it in the last couple of years.
And do the same thing for me.
But I do see a lot. I could send you some Cowboy ones for sure.
That's it. And we could do the same thing. My thing about Ron, like I said, Ron Rivera. Let's be honest. You talk about the new ownership. The only reason that Ron Rivera wasn't fired because of the new ownership. They couldn't get the sale in a matter of time. This is a lame duck coach. Everything has to go perfect for the Washington Commanders for them to do anything positively. Eric Bieniemy never officially called plays solely by himself. You know what I'm saying? So it is to say he got the reins to the offense. Who's to say that it has anything to do with the ascension of Sam Howell? The only quarterback that he's been an offensive coordinator for is Patrick Mahomes. Whoop-de-doo. Now you go from Sam Howell. You go from Patrick Mahomes to Sam Howell. You get this cracking. Oh, you the GOAT. Oh, off rip. Then you are the GOAT. But that's the uphill battle.
I mean, Sam could just be nice.
Then we got to attribute that to somebody, right? Somebody got to get some credit too, right?
But I mean, Patrick Mahomes got to get most of the credit for him being Patrick Mahomes. Like,
but Patrick Mahomes also has Andy Reid. It's like it's a 1-2 thing. Like, somebody gets some credit.
You got Andy Reid, but I still believe that he would be Patrick Mahomes if he didn't have Andy Reid because he nice.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Like, I don't think that Peyton Manning or Tom Brady's coordinators made them. So it's like nice.
Peyton Manning coordinators didn't because you couldn't name them. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why I've always said Peyton Manning is the GOAT quarterback to me.
And so
I mean,
that's all I was saying is that
you got to have talent. We're not taking away.
right.
You got to have some talent. But like I said, if he takes the next step, because like I said, we only have one game. We only have one game from Sam Howell, so we don't know what he can do.
And that's why I said if he do take the next step, I don't know if it's going to be because of Eric B. You feel what I'm saying? It could just be because he getting an opportunity. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to stop it.
No, I think. We like you said, but we're gonna need this. We're gonna use it. We're gonna get Eric B because he needs all the credit that he can get, so he can.
I'm gonna give the credit to Eric B. Just the same way that people.
I mean, he's gonna take it. I mean, if I was I'm gonna take it too. That's how the cookie crumbles.
This defense underachieved last year. John Fox is still there. I mean, not John Fox. Jack Del Rio is still there, right? Candy, you still watching the game?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm saying he's still there. You was ready to get him fired too. So the two people that you wanted fired last year are still there. Like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't see anything positive going to happen other than they're just going to be competitively trash.
But that's what third place is. That's what I'm trying to figure out where the delusional comes in. So it's like
no. I wasn't talking to you. When I said delusion, I wasn't talking to you.
I ain't heard a news article or one fan in our group say anything positive about Commanders. I really haven't, bro. And I've been searching.
We gonna talk, bro. We gonna talk. I ain't just talking out my ass.
So what I will say here is, I think this will be a team kind of like what I said the Lions would be last year. They're not like, it may not be one of those teams where it's like, oh, this might be a potential playoff team, but they have the potential to be right on the edge.
They almost made the playoffs last year.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they might be right on the edge, and if you get one of those bounces, it's going to be, somebody to worry about. But the biggest issue with this team is the same thing with the Lions last year. What is the quarterback OC relationship going to look like, and how is that going to look? Because that'll be the determining factor if they will be able to damn, I said that twice. If they will be able to upset some teams and catch some teams by surprise. Because say what you want, Sam Howell is walking in. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Sam Howell is walking into a situation where he does have some weapons on the outside to make some things happen. And if he is what he could possibly be, and if he's anything what he was in college, they'll be in a good spot. And if Eric B was actually someone that could actually call plays and draw up some and scheme some things and scheme some guys open, this can be a problem. This can be something you got to work with. So we will see. I'm not saying that this team is going to win a division. I think that they will be competing with the Giants for third place.
That's what Ron Rivera would get fired mid-season, bro.
But here's my thing. If Ron Rivera doesn't get fired mid-season, that means
so. Even if
wait,
losing.
Wait. If Ron Rivera doesn't get fired mid-season, it's a possibility that he, like, even if this team gets 10 wins, he'll still get fired and they'll promote Eric Bieniemy.
They're not promoting.
And Josh Harrison
yes,
said,
they will.
They're not looking to shake up the football culture this year. They basically done and trusted Ron with it because they're focused on the business culture, which is their number one aspect. So it's like
they have to.
Yeah. So it's like next year they're gonna focus on that. So it's like I find it hard to believe, even if he goes 0-8, that they just, because who are you gonna bring in? You're a basketball guy first and foremost. So it's like you don't really know. It's like Eric B is gonna be a part of this staff anyway. So it's like if we go 0-8, I ain't pressed to hire you as head coach. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking to get rid of everybody if we go 0-8. So
it's one of those.
Ron is that bad to where he gets to be fired mid-year, which I don't think will be happening. Then I don't think that Eric B will be the next guy, because I feel like ownership is going to look like you're part of this crew.
No, I'm saying if the team is doing good.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that's just my opinion.
I think it'll be one of those Dirk Cutter, Lovie Smith type things.
I'm thinking it's one of those set you up to fail type things. Ron Rivera is only retaining this job because the new ownership came in within the time that they can't shake things up. We've seen new owners get in there and they want to shake things up. They want to make a splash. They want to make a splash. They're going to be trash. They're going to fire Ron Rivera. They're going to appoint, because all the fan base is going to want Eric Bieniemy to get the joint. He's going to be appointed, and he's going to be, hey, show us everybody that you can be a head coach, and he's going to be set up to fail, and they're going to get everything about it. They're going to clean house and going to get the things that they're going to do. And y'all can get some of these big name coaches next year because, like I said, new ownership wants to make a splash. And that's just my prediction. We can move on to the third team. Third team in the division was the New York Giants. New York Giants have a lot to be optimistic about. They had an amazing draft. They had an amazing offseason. They got the players signed. They got Saquon in camp. They re-signed the quarterback. They got some weapons. They got Darren Waller.
Heard he killing.
He's throwing. They just throwing just Danny Dimes. Just looking like already. Danny Dimes, and all the clips that they show. But at the end of the day, it's Daniel Jones, bro. Like, my thing last year was they snuck up on everybody. Let's be honest. Last year was a rebuilding year, and they was ahead of the schedule. Saying a lot of time.
It's the NFC. It's the NFC East, bro. We don't have back-to-back champions. We don't.
But they wasn't the champion.
No, I'm not saying. So it's like every year there's a juggling of the NFC. Like, I've seen it for the last 20 years, bro. Like, every year there's people in the NFC, they go from worst to first. It's just that type of division. So it's like the Giants, I put them last year, but it's like only because you gotta rank them. You know what I'm saying? Even though they could be last this year, I'm not saying that they're gonna be easy to beat or guaranteed to be last. It's just where I have to rank them preseason. So I'm with you. Like, they rank low. I don't think they surprised anybody last year though, because
I think they surprised a lot of teams last year once they was like, oh, hold on, these dudes is competing. They like these dudes is next thing you know, they was in close games and they was winning these games. You know what I'm saying?
Fam, they started off the season 6-2. They caught some motherfuckers off guard.
They definitely caught a lot of people off guard.
That wasn't like they had a tough schedule. Like, who they beat their first 6 games?
They beat the Titans the first game, and then
they beat the Titans. They beat Green Bay.
The Titans was a contending team, and
hold on, wait.
I ain't never been so.
But wait,
and then they beat the NFC.
Wait. They beat Green Bay. They beat Green Bay, and then they beat Baltimore, and then they beat Jacksonville in 3 consecutive weeks. Green Bay, Baltimore, and Jacksonville.
And I sold on them. Baltimore wasn't sold on Jacksonville or Green Bay last year.
But I'm pretty sure if we look back at the schedule when you probably picked Tennessee. Like, you know,
I probably didn't because I was, you know what I mean? I don't like Tennessee, bro. I don't pick I'm not a Tennessee picker. I'm gonna tell y'all that now.
That's fine, but they still was the better team at the time.
But if the Giants start out 6-2, I probably was picking them. I go with trends. I'm a trend.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they ain't starting off 6-2 this year. That's crazy.
But at the end of the day, all jokes aside, I understand why a Giant fan would be optimistic about the team. Like I said, they made key improvements on paper. You know what I'm saying? And so I get it. Do I believe it? No, I don't have to believe it, but I do understand when a Giant fans are talking hype and they feeling good about their team. I get it. I do understand why they feel that way, but I don't believe in Daniel Jones at all. And at the end of the day, Daniel Jones is the quarterback, and and then they brought in all their receivers is all slot receivers.
It's another reason why I got them last place, because they didn't address the number one. And so here's the thing, like, I got question marks on Daniel. I said we know what he's gonna do, but really he ain't never had no squad to do anything with. So it's like that's the one thing that we don't know about him. And it's like they had an opportunity to go and get some free agent wide receivers, didn't. Had an opportunity to draft some wide receivers who were not slot guys, didn't. You know what I mean? Darren Waller was their big gift to Daniel Jones. So it's like, all right, let's see. So it's like, for me, that's their weakest point too. I feel like they're gonna go as far as Daniel Jones is gonna take him, but who does he have to help him? So it's like,
so this to me actually is gonna look like it's funny because they actually got his defensive coordinator. This gonna look to me if what I see Brian Daboll doing is making this look like a Greg Roman offense, where you're trying to make it easy and over the middle and make it just some short, quick, comfortable things and get that 5 yards a pop, running game going with Saquon. Because like you said, you got, Isaiah Hodges, Darius Slayton, Jalen Hyatt out there running 24 miles an hour, running faster than Usain.
Somebody at 24 miles.
Usain running faster than Usain Bolt. So we'll see. But Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal, those are solid, solid bookend tackles. Solid.
Evan Neal was trash.
I said
those
but I'm saying that's why I said solid, because you take pairing Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal. I'm just saying it's okay.
No,
it's okay.
Evan Neal was trash.
But when
Andrew
you have
Andrew Thomas,
I just don't like
right. But that's what I'm saying. So when you got one of them ones and then someone that's trash, it's gonna be okay.
Wideouts got to get in and out of breaks, bro, and that's why.
But what I'm saying is they're not going to be running. They're not going to run these long developing routes. That's all I'm saying.
Shoot, you better run a fly. You better run 9 routes.
So what is Jalen Hyatt then?
But here's my thing: if Jalen Hyatt, for one, he might not be starting, but if you put him on the field, like, to me, that's going to be that 3-step drop 9 route. It ain't going to be, 5, 7.
You can defend that
rip route. You said what?
Yeah, you can defend. You can defend it, but that's why I said you're gonna have that 5-yard running game going with Saquon, and then that's gonna make it tougher. That's all I'm saying. Once again, I'm not sold on this team. I'm just
speaking. When has he ever averaged 5 yards?
I'm saying best case scenario. I'm saying if they
like that. Saying worst case.
God damn it, Hill. Like, this ain't no NFC. Like, this is coming from a non-biased. Hey, if this is their best case scenario, this is what they're looking to do. This is how they want their offense to be set up. This is what the Ravens offense would look like, because Lamar Jackson didn't take 7-step drops. He was in that RPO and stuff like that. And you had Devin Duvernay just, hey, let me just try and win right off the line if I'm going to take a shot. That's what I'm saying this is going to look like. It ain't going to look like, somebody dropping back and, let this long develop. If we're going to take a shot, it's going to be a quick, oh, shit, we got a single high. Let me just try and put it out there. Other than that, we're gonna work over the middle.
Cannon, what Mike Tyson say? Everybody got a plan till what?
Till they get hit in the face, man.
All right, man.
But that's what the fuck I'm talking about here. This is the plan. I know. This is just the plan.
Plans don't change.
It makes sense.
It gotta be their plan.
That's their plan, though, because they don't have wide receivers that can get separation. So it's like you didn't, like, you said that they had a great offseason here. Like, I think if you neglect your biggest weakness, then that's just an okay offseason. I'm not saying that you had an awful one. I like some of the moves that they did, but it's like Washington neglecting linebackers. Like, you can't continue to neglect your weakest position and try to celebrate your offseason, bro. It's like, Daniel Jones, everybody know that Daniel Jones needs wide receivers. Is like, who's the number 1 wide receiver?
Darren Waller, bro. Come on now.
He played tight end, bro. So it's like that's
why I said it's gonna look like the
Ravens. Now, on 3rd and long situations, we double Waller. Then what?
Darius Slayton, bro. Come on now. Can we go to the next team, please?
We can go.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely. I got to go first because it's my team, right?
Yep.
This is one of those times where the off-season hype, where people, Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. This is where this adds up to be. Yes, I'm a fan. Yes, this can be biased, can be viewed biased. I don't give a the things that we made, the improvements that we made, all made sense. Like you said, we needed another outside corner when an upgrade from Anthony Brown. We get that in Stephon Gilmore. We needed an upgrade at anybody in the wide receiver, other wide receiver too. We get that in Brandon Cooks. We just do like you said, we still have Dan Quinn to run the defense. So any expectations, anything that you can, all that sauce, all that glare, all that cowboy luster that everybody hates, that they always want to portray on us when it isn't warranted. It's kind of warranted in this offseason. Will it come to fruition? Will they go to the Super Bowl? Will they go to the NFC Championship? Who knows? But the fact that I'm talking about the offseason expectations, anything that you can say that this team can contend. This team is the third best team in the NFC. The way how you rank it.
I didn't think this was warranted this year, honestly. All the hate. But that's just me.
No, I didn't say it was hate. No, I'm saying I'm talking about, you know how everybody say, oh, the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, all right.
That's what I'm saying. So if you say that, you can say that with some validity, and you can actually pinpoint things that they can actually say. Like you said, when you're the third best team in any conference, you're a contending team. You have a chance. You can make a case. You can make a case.
The Bills are
top 5 in any conference for real.
And once we get there, I'm going. Like I said, I'm not down on the Bills like everybody else, but we're not talking about the Bills right now. We're talking about Dallas Cowboys.
So to me, I'm actually very high on this team.
See what I'm saying?
I'm extremely high on the Cowboys because, yes, people hate the Cowboys, and the Cowboys get unwarranted hate sometimes because it's all you see on TV. It's all they ever talk about, and they always get propped up, and they always say, "Oh, this team is this team is a Super Bowl contender." Blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. But let's not forget, this Cowboys team only lost 4 games last season, and that was with a large chunk of it without their starting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? This team went 12-5. So we can't actually just write this team off like they're not a contender because, yeah, you're a 12-5 team, the third best in the conference. The only team, there's only maybe 2 teams that you can talk about that are better than you. One went to the Super Bowl, and the other, we have extreme questions about quarterback, and I actually have more questions about them. I have more questions about the San Francisco 49ers than I do about the Dallas Cowboys.
I ain't sold on the 49ers.
But at the end of the day, they still went to the NFC Championship.
We on the NFC.
Of course, they went to the NFC Championship, but also, if I'm going to take a look back, I can say
last year, bro.
That's last year, and I also can say the Cowboys got better.
But this is my thing. Every time we lose into the playoffs, we lose to a team that goes to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl. We're not losing to these poo putts that they always want to laugh and say we don't do anything in the playoff. When we lose to somebody in the playoff, they go to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl. So we losing to a legit team.
And here's my thing. You got better. Your team has more depth. Michael Gallup is a year removed from the ACL. He can look better now. You added Brandon Cooks. You have, to me, a very, very strong foursome to rush the passer in DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons, Sam Williams, and Durance Armstrong.
Keep Brandon Cooks the hell away from me.
And then you think about it, you bring in Stephon Gilmore to go on the opposite side of Trayvon Diggs. Say what you want about Trayvon Diggs and how many yards you think he gives up, but now if you act
corner, I'm sick of that, bro. Like,
here's my thing.
Take that no more, bro.
Like,
he's one of the few people that I'm sold on the Cowboys. I'm sold on Trayvon Diggs. Like, and if you're not, you're a hater. Period. The Cowboys defense don't worry me at all. I'm not worried about it. It's worried about, can Tony Pollard hold up because he gets nicked up? I mean, now he don't have Zeke to lean on. So it's like, can Tony Pollard hold up so that they can be that contender? And can Dak get over the hump? Those are the 2 question marks that I have for Dallas. I don't have any more question marks. So it's like, you could talk about Trayvon Diggs giving up yards. He does a damn job. You look at him compared to other corners. You tell me how many yards they give up. You go to cornerback on your team, not you, but I'm just talking about people who talk. Go to the cornerback on your team. You tell me how many yards they giving up, and then you could just shut the hell up. Like, I'm not a Cowboy fan, but the thing is, I'm not going to talk about players that ball out. It's the same thing that when I was talking about Saquon, you know what I'm saying? Like, people who ball out, I'm not gonna, it is what it is, bro. Like, I'm going to give you the real. And so Dallas's defense, they have when they talk the D line that you talk about, you have Micah Parsons leading that. You know what I'm saying? You have 2 elite corners. So it's like, bro, Dak has an injury history now here, no matter how you want to slice it. So it's like, that's the number one question mark. And then it's like, damn, if you're going to be, but he always play in the season. So he don't be having season injuries per se. He be playing. So it's like, bro, are you going to be healthy enough to be in your, where we need you to be when we need you to be it? Because we don't need you to be coming back a few games before we go to the playoffs. Now you trying to get in the game shape, and it's an important game. Are you going to be available this year? Are you going to cut the picks down? I think they go as far as Dak take them, bro, because the rest of the team is built.
It's definitely on Dak and it's definitely on McCarthy, bro. Like the pressure's on him.
To me, that's my biggest question: is how McCarthy is going to fare as a play caller.
I think McCarthy does a good job, though. Honestly, like we look at plays that don't work, and we always blame the coaches. It don't always be the coaches, bro.
But when
let's look at the last play that they ran in their playoff game where Zeke gets bowled over. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the play call, but I guarantee you in practice, Zeke, you're not getting bowled over like that. So it's like if you just
they probably don't rush Zeke like that.
They probably don't, but it's
why
like
the hell was that the play?
But if you just block for a couple seconds right there, that's probably a whole different outcome. You see what I'm saying? But now in hindsight, it looks like a bad play. But if that play works, then he's a fucking genius. So it's like, bro, it's about what my coaches used to say to me, bro. I could draw up the greatest game plan. Y'all got to execute it. So it's like,
AJ, what you say to me?
I think McCartney put him in winning position last year. That's what I believe.
AJ, what you say to me when you say about young coaches when they go like them young offensive coaches that become head coaches, they go get a veteran defensive coordinator.
Get you somebody who can be someone who can manage the other side of the ball as a head coach, and you can just focus on where your strong point is.
Yeah.
So we got Dan Quinn, right?
Yep.
It's year 3 for Dan Quinn and that defense.
That's why I literally said
I got to worry about it.
I ain't worried about the Cowboys defense.
So any imperfections that or rustiness that McCarthy has, that, like I said, he can definitely focus on all his inabilities right then and there, because like I said, he has somebody that he can trust in that defense to hold it down. Anything else?
All I'm gonna say is this offense also that McCarthy is taking over. It's not like he's just trying to take some middle of the road, trash ass offense. This offense got some weapons.
We know that.
And he has a top 10 quarterback in Dak. So
there's top 30 players on the offense. Like, come on now. And
so you give Dan Quinn that defense, and McCarthy, if he even looks a semblance of like what he can do, like he can do something, this is gonna be this can be a number one. This can be a number one seed.
You mean if the players execute McCarthy's game plan?
Well, let's go ahead and finish it up with the runner-up to the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles. Go ahead, AJ.
All right, the Super Bowl losers, the Philadelphia Eagles. I have questions now because we just talked about the continuity and some of the players and the depth that the Cowboys have. You bringing in 2 new coordinators. And hey, Sirianni, you took your team to the Super Bowl, but how much does the coordinators play into that? How much of the offensive game plan were you involved in with, Shane Steichen? Y'all wanted Jonathan Gannon gone, but is Sean Desai gonna be the guy? So now you're bringing in, a new defensive coordinator. And you're bringing in some new faces, just like you talked about us Hill losing Von Bell and Jesse Bates. Mm-hmm. They lost CJGJ. They lost who else? But now you got Terrell Edmonds and Reed Blankenship.
Yeah,
I mean, come on now, like Reed.
I ain't sold on Reed, but
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely ain't sold on Reed.
And it's a reason Terrell Edmonds left Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? So you're bringing and now you're bringing in the Kobe Dean. Jarvis saying he willing to take Jabril Cox, so to play off ball linebacker, and he might not even make the team according to Hill. You get what I'm saying? So obviously, y'all must have some issues there at linebacker in the spine of your defense if you're trying to bring in new off ball linebackers, and then you got some new starting safeties. We all love Jalen Carter in the draft, but there is a thing about rookie defensive linemen where there is a learning curve. So there's no guarantee that he hits the ground running. So I have some issues there. Tyler Steen, you got to bring him at right guard. This to me, the offense I think shouldn't be a problem because when you have Jalen Hurts, if he looked how he looked, then it shouldn't be an issue. But if Shane Steichen created an offense that Brian Johnson can't run, this can look different. This can look like rookie year Jalen Hurts instead of Super Bowl, a shoulder injury away from MVP. So there are some questions on this team. This team isn't guaranteed to go back to the NFC Championship game.
No team is
100%.
But my biggest question mark for the Eagles,
he was the best run defense safety last year. Who cares?
My biggest question mark for them is the fact that what I said earlier, NFC East does not have repeat champions, and unfortunately, we done marked 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, and we are left with a back-to-back champion, and everything in probability says it ain't gonna be the Eagles. So that's my biggest question mark. My second biggest question mark is the loss of starters. So it's like you're a Super Bowl caliber team, you lose. I think they lost 4 starters on the how many starters on the defense? Slay came back, so maybe 3 starters on the defense.
They lost the linebacker. They lost Hargrave. They lost Gardner Johnson. And it was somebody else.
And then something just happened to Gardner Johnson recently.
He got injured in Detroit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like you losing starters. Now, what I will say is I'm like AJ. I'm assuming that your offense is going to be pretty stable. You know what I mean? You got Jalen Hurts. If he's going to look like how he looked, if coaching staff understands what he likes to do, I'm assuming that's going to be. My second question mark is the loss of the defensive player. So it's like, it's a tight division. Cowboys, you know what I mean? If Dak is on, what if Dak is making that? You know what I mean? He's not injured and he's taking those leaps and he's throwing to those weapons that we talked about. That's going to be a dangerous thing. Even still, when you facing those 3rd and 4th teams in the NFC East, Washington has offensive pieces. So it's like AJ said, that it's not going to be an easy victory. It could be if we play bad, but it's like it also couldn't be. You know what I'm saying? And the Giants are not going to be an easy victory either. So it's like, bro, like it's going to be tough. But I do think even with my 2 major question marks about their players leaving and with the NFC East not having back-to-back champions for the most part, I do think that they are going to be back-to-back division champions this time. I think that them and the Cowboys will make the playoffs unless one of the 3rd or 4th teams play above their one of the quarterbacks on the 3rd. Let me be specific. One of the quarterbacks on the 3rd and 4th team take a step up, then I think those teams will cause problems. But I also don't know if Dan Jones steps up with no wide receivers, like God bless you, bro. You need to leave. You need to leave this year, bro. Leave when your stuff is done. Just leave, bro, because Lord have mercy.
My thing about the Eagles is, like I said, on paper, all the subtractions that they had, they definitely, made additions. They replaced them. You know what I'm saying? Are they upgrades? We'll see. But on paper, they definitely, everything that they lost, they definitely replaced, and they replaced it fast. You know what I'm saying? The thing about the losing the coordinators is definitely a question. I get that. But losing Jonathan Gannon is an upgrade. I don't give a damn. Like I'm going to go out on the limb. This defensive coordinator they got is an upgrade from Jonathan Gannon. Like you said, you listen to the Eagles, they've been trying to get rid of Jonathan Gannon for a long time because his simplistic ass scheme is not really legit. Like I said, they have a lot of players that played above their scheme and it made it look way better than it. But you seen what happened when they played legitimate quarterbacks. Like you said, you can say what you want. Dak dropped 40 on his defense. The defense was healthy. You know what I'm saying? Dak dropped 40 on his defense. He ain't Mahomes. Let's see what Mahomes did to him. When they play legitimate quarterbacks, you seen what happened to this defense. Offensively, I do have the question. I'm high on the offensive coordinator now.
They also lost Miles Sanders too, so that's another piece they lost.
Yeah, but they replaced him with Swift, and got Rashad Penny.
That's a new guy coming in. Running backs devalue. I don't necessarily. I gotta see him. They did replace him though. To your point.
So that's my point. So everybody that they lost, we can say that they replaced them with. Now, is it an upgrade yet to be seen? That goes back to my point. When you go back to the offensive coordinator,
I don't care who learned under.
You go back to the offensive coordinator, Steichen.
Yep,
he legit.
Mm-hmm.
He's
100%.
legit. You can tell because first off, Nick Sirianni was calling the plays when he first got there, and that's when it was looking a little suspect. And Jalen Hurts was still looking a little suspect when he took over the play call, and that's when they went on a run and they made it to the playoffs that year.
And what I tell you about it, what I tell you about a head coach who has certain duties and then gives those duties up.
Yeah.
And also players the coaches that try to play to their players' strengths, bro.
So when it comes to like I was saying about the Giants last year, how they snuck up on people. Let's think about the rhetoric that was going around the Eagles last year. Oh, the Eagles have everything, but what is Jalen Hurts going to do? Is he going to take that step? Is he going to be the one that's holding them back? And what did he do? He answered the bell.
Mm-hmm.
Damn near MVP candidate. Like I said, he showed up. But this year, is he sneaking up on anybody?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Exactly. So now these people know what he's like. They know what what he likes to do. They have actual legit film on him to see what he's capable of, and maybe they can, what I'm saying, make some stops. Like I said, the schedule is definitely not going to be the same as they did last year. They started off a little weak. But it gets hot. It gets hot. Like I said, they definitely still are one of the best teams. Like I said, it may be the best team on paper in the NFC. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking nothing away from them, but the questions that I asked for when we were talking about the Bengals, when we were talking about the Ravens, the questions that I asked, they have questions as well.
That's what I said. Like I have questions about this team, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it at all. Still picked them to be first, so it's like, if you'd be mad if you're an Eagles fan. We picked them first, bro. Like, stop, bro. And I don't even believe in repeat champions, and I technically should have picked the Cowboys based off my own philosophy.
I don't give a damn what happens in the division. I just, like I said, they still the contending teams.
They
know
are,
what I'm saying?
For sure.
So if they don't win the division, they're still a contending team. If the Cowboys win the division or they don't win the division, they're still a contending team.
Barring major injuries.
Of course, that's always the caveat. We ain't got to say that no more when we do this. Right. Like you say, barring major injury, you just blast that around on the ticket. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. So all of our takes about division is barring major injuries because that's going to change everything.
So that was it. That was episode 208.
Does this matter?
No.
Top 10 percentage of quarterback fault. Come on, man. You know who on the list. Why is
Tyrod Taylor so high? Dang, boy.
So this actually is low. This is like from lowest to highest.
I'm saying he's still almost 50%. Like he's the highest on the list. So I get that these are the lowest, but it's like I didn't think that he was almost at 50% fault.
Well, because it actually makes sense to me because Tyrod Taylor didn't put the ball into harm's way. That's one of the reasons why the Bills went to the playoffs that year with him because he protected the
ball. But it's more than what I thought. So it's like it's not a lot. I just thought he protected the ball better than that. So it's just shocking to see him at almost 50%.
Yeah. I just wanted to see if this mattered to anybody, and
it ain't matter.
No, because I honestly I do these stats like when I do football games, and it's the worst stat ever, bro. Because how can I as a statistician, right? And I log it to the best of my ability. Doesn't mean that it's true. You know what I'm saying? If I say quarterback's fault on this pick, how do I even know that the receiver ran the route right? You see what I'm saying? I don't even know the play. I'm basing it off. Was it tip? Did the receiver drop it? That's what I have to base that off. So it's like a lot of times, bro, if it's a dig and you run it out, that's your fault. But no one's gonna know that but the coach and you and a quarterback. So it's like it could be your fault. And if you run a dig instead of an out, it's gonna look like Sam Howell's fault. You feel me?
It's always gonna look like
or
the quarterback
directly to somebody because you ran the wrong route, and they're gonna be like, "God damn, Sam Howell, that's way off." And that's really that could be Curtis Samuel's fault. So it's like
it's just like when we see sacks sometimes, and we'd be like, "Yo, that's the old lineman fault." When technically it's like, "Hey, bro, you had a man open. You had a man open at the top of your 3-step drop, but you hitched twice and didn't throw it." So
do that thing, that thing like they do, just to feel good, or you want to flip the ball around,
or you done ran around in the backfield 30 seconds when you could have just threw it.
And then one of your offensive linemen is gonna get charged with that, and it's gonna be like it makes them look bad when actually you're supposed to get the ball out immediately. Like your first read was actually just to dump it off right to the line to the running back right in front of the linebacker anyway, but you trying to make a play or something like that. So it just all depends. I just wanted to see how people felt.
So as a statistician, that's one of the stats that I hate in football because I don't know the play.
Like I said, podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. Like I said, the price list will be added to all social medias. So please list what you need. We'll give you a brief, a detailed description later on. But like I said, that's the email that you need to place your orders. 3-Man Weave apparel is on the way. It's on the way.
On the way.
That's on the apparel on the way.
Magic's on the way.
Let's go, baby. Let's go,
baby.
That's my favorite, bro. That's the best voiceover in the game.
He said with matter of fact, I would scroll up because he said he put it in here. He put it in here. I gotta scroll. There we go.
What is
Commanders on the
way. Oh man,
let's go, baby.
And winter time come back Sunday too, man.
Yeah, winter time, baby.
Yo, the dude that Savvy, whatever his name is, he can't wait. He can't wait.
He can't wait, bro. Every time, Magic, whatever Magic,
he doing it, bro.
Oh man, hey, remember when Mike Zimmer said, "Hey, Kellen Mond ain't gonna be starting because I see him every day in practice." Boy, he just threw a terrible interception. I'm like, oh, Mike Zimmer was right.
Oh. Hey, y'all catch us on all major podcast platforms, 3-Man Weave, Instagram to the 3-Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. Hey, that's where you get your apparel at. So hit us up. I'm Hill, it's AJ, it's Cannon, y'all the fours, and we out.
Yeah.